So I'm back. We're going to try this again. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to go ahead and get right into the intro. So this is part two.
Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Hey, let's try this again. Let me test my sound. Can you guys hear me? Testing 1 2 1 2. Are we good on the sound? Are we good on the audio? Okay, great. Hopefully, your Saturday is going amazing. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. I just wanted to quickly come on here and talk about Queen Naija coming out saying that she regrets adding fat to her butt. Now, y'all know this is something that I have been talking about very passionately. And the reason is because I knew that this was going to lead to health struggles like obesity. Um, I, you guys, I really don't know where to start with this because I tell women, I'm honest with women all day, every day. Being thick is hard. I repeat, being thick is hard. It's hard work. If you are the type of girl where you don't struggle with your weight at all, continue to be blessed. Okay. Don't make your life harder than what it has to be. And I get it. I get it. We all have insecurities, including myself. I have insecurities. I have insecurities. My mother has insecurities. My grandmother has insecurities. I don't know a woman that does not have insecurities. I don't know a man that does not have insecurities. We all have them. And honestly, we need to focus on how to deal with our insecurities in a healthy way. But one thing that I have learned, especially when it comes to this generation, we seek out instant gratification when it comes to our insecurities. And it could be fast money, it could be plastic surgery, it could be trying to get a bunch of followers online for whatever reason to get some type of status or clout. This generation that we're in, it seeks out instant gratification. And we don't think about the long term side effects. We don't think about the bigger picture. We don't think about longevity. And that's something that we need to start thinking about. It's something that we need to start talking about because a lot of these people that are coming out, just speaking on like some of their regrets and, you know, one thing that I've learned about people, we all have our awakenings at different points in our lives. And I think Queen is just at that point. She got a BBL when she was in her early 20s after having one child. And I tell you guys, I tell ladies all the time that your body is going to go through so many different changes. Your weight is going to fluctuate so many times throughout your lifetime. So, to make such a drastic decision regarding your body so early in life, you may regret it later. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. If you have the fat gene, getting a BBL is the worst thing that you could ever do. I repeat. Now, let me be real with you. Okay. I have seen plus size girls get a BBL and it looks amazing, but they didn't overdo it. They did not. I've seen the plus size girls that have, some would say, their father's body type. I'll say that, where they have more stomach than they have back, right? I've seen TikTok videos of those girls getting their bodies done, but they didn't overdo it. When you exaggerate fat being put into your backside, understand that when those fat cells grow, it's going to grow in that area and you're going to have to carry it around. So it's like we're not thinking logical about these procedures. We're not thinking about the long term side effects when it comes to these procedures. And it's something that I've always been concerned about. When you are thick, though, it's hard to maintain your weight. When you tend to develop as you get older, your weight changes, your body changes, your hormones change. You have no control over your hormones changing. The only thing that you have control over is focusing on your dieting, drinking more water, balancing your hormones, but you really don't have control over the natural part about life when it comes to womanhood when your hormones change. And also alcohol, getting a BBL and alcohol, that don't go together. And I say these things out of caution, out of warning. I'm not telling you how to live your life, because at the end of the day, it's your life to live. We all got to learn in our own way. But a lot of these girls are not being honest with you. So I want to talk about a more important conversation, a more important discussion regarding the girls coming out, being more honest with their followers. Think about it. Who you allow to influence you is a privilege. Who you allow to influence you is a privilege. It's a privilege to give someone that type of power over you. Now, think about it. Queen Naija, she went and she got this BBL, and she did a whole series on her YouTube channel to impressionable young girls, and they ate it up. I'm pretty sure she was in the DMs telling people, telling girls who her doctor was, the process, who she went to, and she was encouraging them to do the same thing. Now, let's think about this for a sec. She did it in the mindset of a woman who's insecure when it came to her body. So think about all the women she influenced, all the women she encouraged to get this procedure done by simply promoting it, because she promoted it on her YouTube channel. She promoted the doctor on her YouTube channel. Think about all the women she has impacted simply because she was insecure. And now she's coming out saying that she has regret. So, my question is this: who are you allowing to influence you? And they're influencing you from a broken place, like being insecure, like being unhappy, like being bitter. Who are you allowing to influence you that's not influencing you from a good place? This is a better discussion for me, because you need to start checking who you're allowing to influence you, because that to me is a bigger issue here. Queen Naija, she went out, she got her BBL. That's on her. That's on her. This is her decision, it's her life, it's her body. But at the end of the day, a better discussion is checking in 2023, looking at the women that you're allowing to influence you, because a lot of these women are not in a good place. And that's something that you have to think about. I'm going to always tell you to be your own leader, to be your own person, to think for yourself. I don't want you thinking like me. I tell y'all that all the time. That's not being an individual. That's not. And when you're a follower, right? This is what happens. You follow behind women who later tell you, "Hey, just to let you know, I regret what I did. I regret it. I regret what I did." And listen, I'm not here to crucify Queen to the cross. She did what she did. It was her decision. And at the time, maybe she thought she was doing the right thing. Maybe she thought, what she was doing, it wasn't harmful. It wouldn't have this big of an impact. But now we're looking back and it does. So, a better discussion for me is, who are you allowing to influence you? And are they influencing you from a healthy place? Oh, oh my. What did I plan?
One thing I wish I never did. I'm scared to say this. Got fat added to my butt.
So adding fat to your butt, you wish you would have never did it?
Like not as much. I didn't think they was gonna do that much. Should just did like the tummy tuck and some shots on my booty. One thing I wish I never did.
So honestly, you guys, again, I'm gonna tell you this. I can't stress this enough. If you know you got the fat gene, girl, I would not get a BBL. That's as real as it gets. Girl, I got the fat gene. How do you know if you have the fat gene? Look at your mother. Look at the women in your family. Okay? Listen, when you young, it's not something you have to be concerned about. As you get older, it's definitely something that you have to be concerned about. It is. And carrying around extra weight, it's bad on your organs. It's not good for your health. Okay? It's not. It's bad on your organs, it's bad on your heart. You're going to eventually have all of these complications. And listen, when you're younger and you tend to be overweight, it's not as bad. But as you get older and you're still carrying that weight, that takes a lot on your knees, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but when I was overweight and I had extra weight, and I was carrying around extra weight, my knees hurt really bad. And my back, oh my gosh, my lower back, y'all, my lower back would hurt so bad. And at the time I was working in where was I? I was working in retail. I was working at a grocery store and I had to stand on my feet all day. And it was so hard being physically active to do the things that I needed to do for myself, like go to work. And I had to stand on my feet for hours at a time. So, you guys, if you have the fat gene, the worst thing that you could do is go and get a BBL. I have seen some plus size girls do it, and it looks good because the girls that I've seen do it, they didn't overdo it. Because you guys, I tell you all the time, I don't know what it's like not to have something back there. You know what I mean? Something. Like there are women out here that don't have anything back there at all. And they're not trying to go, super big. They just want something back there. And I get it. But just think about how much you're putting back there. Because remember, it's fat. They're fat cells, and fat cells spread and they grow. So just think about it for a sec, okay? But it's no joke being thick, you guys. It's no joke being in the middle where you're about 20 to 30 pounds, getting to that point where, okay, you need to go and do something about it. It's a lot of work, and it requires you to diet consistently. It requires you to change your life around, and it requires you to eat better. It requires you to eat healthier. It requires you to stay consistent. And if you know you are not one of those girls where you have the discipline to eat better, to eat healthier, to drink more water, to truly take care of yourself, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. I had swollen feet. I had swollen ankles. I'll never forget, you guys, when I had lost my first, I would say 60 pounds. I was in a totally different shoe size. And I felt so much more relieved. Like I was like, oh my God, standing on my feet wasn't as bad. So I'm just giving you warning, you guys. These girls are coming out and they're finally being honest. And I'm going to tell you the reason why they took so long to be honest with you was because they didn't want the naysayers to say, I told you so. And so I respect Queen so much for coming out and being honest with the young, impressionable girls that she had influenced. That's all I ask. I can't ask for people to be perfect because, again, she felt like this was no harm. She felt like it was no big deal. She was chasing a particular trend at the time, and she didn't think much of it. And so now that she's dealing with the side effects of her decision, she's coming out and she's being honest about that. So I think you should give her some grace and understand that this was a learning process for her, just as much as us watching her go through this is a learning process for us. And we have to learn that as a generation, we got to stop chasing these instant gratifications when it comes to our insecurities. We have to start doing the work on ourselves instead of trying to get out here and get some instant fixers to fix our issues. Like, we have to start taking the slow route of fixing ourselves. And it may start with you increasing your self-esteem. It may start with you working on yourself, your mentality. It may not be the doctor's office, y'all. And I tell y'all all the time, I struggled with body dysmorphia. I hated having a big butt. I have the body that a lot of these girls are going out here and getting. And it, for me, it triggers my insecurities because I'm like, why do y'all want to have these problems? Like, I honestly did not understand it. I'm like, why do you want to cry in the dressing room? Why do you want to cry because you gained 10 pounds and it's so noticeable because you're thick? I have always been bluntly honest with you guys because being thick is hard work. I don't care what these girls are promoting on social media behind these filters and how they're photoshopping their photos after getting surgery. It's a lot of work. And a lot of these girls feel like they can't even eat a burger, they can't eat a donut because they know they're very concerned and fixated on their body image because they have to show up on social media. They have to show up on these red carpet events and in these videos, and that's why they tend to get addicted to these procedures after a while, because they pride themselves on having this perfect image and it's not realistic. And you guys, I feel like we women put pressure on ourselves more than men do. I do. I have been saying this for a while. We put the pressure on ourselves more than men do. And I've even seen other women put pressure on other women when it comes to their bodies as well, making shady comments, shady remarks, uh this whole pressure to snap back after childbirth. We women know what it's like to go through something so drastic like childbirth, but we'll turn around and put the pressure on another woman to snap back. Make that make sense. It's time for us to truly wake up and start working on ourselves, because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you now, if you're 20 something, your body is going to go through so many changes. So it's best that you work on your foundation. It's best that you work on your self-esteem. It's best that you work on your self-confidence, because there are women that are 50, 60 years old. They went through menopause. Their body is not the same, and they still are suffering from the same insecurities, low self-esteem, and low self-confidence that they had when they were in their 20s. So it's something that you need to work on now. The sooner the better, because again, your body is going to go through so many different changes as you grow and as you get older in life. It's just part of it. So picking up healthier habits like exercising on a regular, eating more vegetables, drinking more water, it's just going to benefit you in the long run. Even if you do decide to get a procedure done, because I'm not going to tell you, oh, don't get surgery, don't. No, you're going to have to do what you feel comfortable with because it's your body. But please understand that this is a lifelong journey, and it's not going to just be this thing that you do, you fix, and then that's it. No, this is a lifelong journey, and it's going to require you to consistently work on yourself. And like I said, when you lay that proper foundation when you're young, after you have kids, you'll know how to handle it when your body is not the same. I see so many women who have children and they beat themselves up, they pick themselves apart because they gave birth and their body does not look the same. So, this is a journey, you guys. And I'm just glad that Queen came out and she just was honest with you guys. It seems like slim is the new trend today, and it's going to change again. So just be prepared for that. And it's just best that you focus on yourself and work on yourself and stop trying to live up to these trends, because they're going to continue to change. And To the people out here that are tapping into my Patreon and you're getting into these conspiracy theories with me, sis, this is just, the whole trends with body types and things like that. You got to understand that it's just a distraction. It's just to distract you from, things that are uh more of a concern when it comes to our economy, the world that we live in, our government officials, and things like that. These trends are just used to distract you from real issues that are happening around us that goes on within our government. And that's just me being honest with you. So I wouldn't get too caught up in these trends. I would focus more on yourself, because that's the only thing that's going to give you emotional and mental stability than to be chasing these trends all day, every day. You're going to drive yourself insane. I'm not against any woman getting work done, especially after childbirth. I don't know what it's like to have children. I don't know what it's like for your body to change after children. So I'm not here to tell you what to do with your body. I'm saying work on that foundation, because I've seen women who get work done and they get the mommy makeover, they go and they get all of that done and they still not happy. So you may have body dysmorphia, which is a deeper issue that you may need to work on within yourself, like going to therapy and working on your body dysmorphia, because I've seen that too. So just make sure that you're laying the foundation. That's what really matters. And what you choose to do after you lay the foundation. And I use the example of, it's similar to buying a house, right? When you buy a brand new house, it looks so nice, right? And it's new. But as it tends to get older, once you look at a brand new house versus a 10-year-old house, the foundation may have some cracks in it. It may have some chips, or on the outside of the house, there may be some cracks in the ceiling and stuff like that, because the foundation has now settled. The house is getting older. And so now you're calling to get it fixed and sprucing up a little bit. I don't see anything wrong with that. But you got to understand, Queen got this done in her early 20s. And she really just didn't allow her body to settle a little bit before she went and started doing all of these things. So it's just something to think about. Okay. That's pretty much all that I have for this video, you guys. I told the girls that if you was going to get any surgery, I told you to get the sleeve. I've been telling y'all that since 2014. And people were dragging me for that. And I'm like, girl, if the issue is fat and weight loss, go get the sleeve. Don't go get the BBL. Now, if you want some back, like you want a little booty back there, then yeah, if you're a slim woman, you're a slender woman, then yeah, go get the BBL. But if you know your issue is weight, girl, you need to go get the sleeve. I've been telling y'all that since 2014. I've been telling you, if you know you got a high BMI, I said go get the sleeve. Now all these celebrities are out here getting the sleeve. I've been honest with y'all since day one. I've been honest with y'all since day one. I said go get the gastric sleeve, not the gastric sleeve bypass. I said gastric sleeve. Okay. The bypass, no, I never recommend the bypass. I said, if you're going to go get something, gastric sleeve. And then I even told you, I said, if you go get the sleeve, that's covered by your insurance. I told y'all that. The sleeve is reversible. The sleeve is a lot of things. But I told you, I said, if you're going to go do anything and it pertains to your weight loss, I said, go get the sleeve. And I told you, I gave you the biggest tip, the best tip. I said, it's covered by your insurance when your BMI is at a certain level. So it's crazy how everything is turning out. And it's just crazy how life is going for me right now, honestly, when it comes to these situations with people coming out and being honest. Because I told y'all that if you have issues with your weight, I've struggled. I know what it's like. I said, go get the sleeve. I would not get the bypass and I would not get the BBL. That's exactly what I said. And now we're seeing all of these women pop up skinny now, just skinny. And I told y'all what they doing. How do I know what they're doing? Because when you get the sleeve, there are just things about your body where you can tell you got the sleeve done, if that makes sense. So you can tell, like, in the face. You can tell when it comes to the legs if they have like saggy skin in certain areas and stuff like that. It's no shade or anything. It's just when you know, you just know. So I'm not going to tell you what to do with your body because we all have different issues. All of our circumstances are different. I told y'all that when I got my sleeve, it was because I got a steroid injection and I was on prednisone. And if you know anything about steroid injections for knee, back pain, shoulder pain, or anything like that, you gain weight rapidly. You develop this condition called moon face, and your doctor is pumping you with more medications because of all the pain that you're in and all the side effects that you're going through. So at the time, my back was up against the wall. I didn't know what was going on with my body. I was swelling. um like, you guys, if you looked at me back then, it would look like you could pop me with a pin and I would just bust like a balloon. So I was going through a lot of health issues during that time, like prednisone, and I was 17. So at the time, I did not know what was going on because I was still a kid. And by the time I had turned 18, my parents didn't have to go in with the doctor to my doctor's appointments with me. I could take myself. And so I just remember how the doctors, they really just took advantage of me because I had good health insurance. At the time I was with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Y'all know I joke about that on my platform all the time. But I just felt like the doctors were taking advantage of me. They were prescribing me these different treatments and shots and drugs and everything. And it was because they knew that I had the type of health insurance where it would be an automatic uh, payout for them. So I had all type of side effects, you guys, like moon face. I was retaining a lot of water. I had gained. I remember when I got my first steroid for pain, I think I gained like 60 pounds in like 2 months. It was crazy. And I was just putting on weight. Imagine you gaining weight, gaining 60 pounds while dieting. Talk about crushing your self esteem. So I'm not here to tell you what to do with your body because we all have different experiences and our bodies are different and we're all going through different things. But that prednisone, and I forget the name of the steroid, I think it was cortisol, that nearly took me out, y'all. Prednisone is no joke. And then imagine you gaining weight, and your doctor is telling you, oh, you need to stay up on your medications. You need to make sure you're taking your prednisone. And at the time, I was a kid, I was 17. So I didn't even know that the prednisone was what was causing my weight gain. I had no idea. And then not only did I take prednisone, but I took cortisol, a steroid on top of that. So I was just gaining a bunch of weight, and it was crazy because I went from being healthy to unhealthy overnight. So we all have I don't think it was hydrocortisone. I just know that it was a steroid, you guys. And I think it was in the cortisol family. I'll say that. And they had me on the shot and they had me on the pill. So it's really sad, you guys. Like, I tell y'all all the time, when it comes to your doctor, you gotta check them because birth control is the same. This is why I don't take birth control, because birth control will have you gain weight too. I'm actually terrified to take birth control. I am scared to take birth control. I fear taking birth control because of the weight gain. So I'm not here to, again, I get it. And you know what's even more heartbreaking is when people see you gaining weight like that, they just assume you ate your way to that size. They don't think that you actually have health issues. Oh my gosh. They don't think that you have actual health issues. And listen, even if you suffer from obesity and things like that, obesity is a disease. I tell people that all the time and they look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, it affects the brain. The brain is why the person is not able to lose weight, and it's something that needs to be looked into. but they just automatically just cast you off as being this bigger person, and they don't think how it could either be like a mental issue, or you may have like a food addiction, or there may be a connection with the brain and relations to food and things like that. But it's like when you say that type of stuff, people look at you like you crazy. I don't trust doctors now, because anytime you would go in, they'll try to pressure you to lose weight, but then they'll give you these drugs where the side effects are weight gain. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. So I'm not a doctor. I'm gonna always tell you to get professional medical advice. I'm not a doctor, but don't just try to get a second opinion, because some of these doctors are just trying to take your money, and it don't seem like physicians, not too many really care about you anymore. Because I'm telling you guys, I nearly lost my life. I went in for a knee injury and came out with like a list of issues. They had put me on antidepressants and everything. That was helping me gain weight as well. Like it was, y'all, it was a mess. It was a mess. And it just seems like when it comes to the big farm, they're not trying to help us. They're just trying to they're just trying to treat our symptoms. They're not trying to actually like help us though. So I'm glad I got out of that. I've been healthy ever since I took control of my own health. Everyone's health though looks differently. So please seek professional advice. But that was the only reason why I'm here today, is because I took control of my life. And I had to make that decision at 19. I took control of my life, and I've never went back to what I was doing before. And it's the only reason I've been consistently able to keep the weight off. And it's because I pretended like I never got the surgery done. I acted as if I never got the sleeve. I was eating, dieting, working out like I was supposed to, and I never got the sleeve as if, oh, I don't need to work out. I don't need to do. No, I pretended like I never got it done. So that is the best thing that I can advise, that if you do get the sleeve, listen, you got to work, because I've seen so many women that I started with who got the sleeve that gained all the weight back, or they gained more weight back than what they originally lost. If you do decide to get the sleeve, you got to change your life. And it doesn't matter if you get plastic surgery or if you get weight loss surgery, you have to change your life. There's no way around it. Even if you decide to go the natural route, you have to change your life. You have to change your life. I don't know if I don't know if my sleeve still works. Honestly, I don't. I don't know. I can eat way more than what I was able to. I can drink and eat at the same time. I feel like I'm a regular person at this point. But it's been years. Like I got the surgery in 2014. So, but again, to keep the weight off, you got to change your life. You got to. There's no way around it. If you are lazy, don't waste your time getting sleeve. Don't. Because it doesn't matter if you do it the natural way, plastic surgery, or weight loss surgery. You're going to have to change your life. I cannot stress that enough. You're going to have to change your life. There's no way around it. Okay? The sleeve, thank you. It's a tool. That's it. That's it. It's just a tool. And it helped me get my health back, and it helped me it just helped me in so many ways. But I'm going to be real with you. When I got it done, I acted as if I didn't. And I did share it with the internet. Like if you didn't know I had it, I'm sorry. But I pretended mentally that I never got it done. I went to the gym. I've had so many different trainers. I've tried so many different lifestyles. I've kept the weight off because I changed my life. And the number one thing that helped change my life is discipline. There's no way around it, y'all. There's no way around discipline. There's no way around it. So the sleeve did help change my relationship with food. So the control of food, that really drastically changed for me. And so I started looking at food differently. But again, if you don't have the discipline, you're going to gain all that weight back. It doesn't matter if you get plastic surgery. It doesn't matter if you lose the weight the natural way or you get plastic surgery. If you do not have the discipline, do not waste your money, because this is about you wasting your money. Don't waste your money. So that's all that I have regarding this video, you guys. At the end of the day, though, try to work on your insecurities from the inside out, because that's the only way that thing, like if you were to get the body that you want, that's the only way it's going to last. And you got to love yourself. I can't stress that enough. You got to love yourself. I go to the gym consistently because I love myself. I remember when my back hurt. I remember when my knees hurt. I remember when I would stand on my feet for long periods of time because I had to, and my ankles were swollen. I remember that. I remember what it was like with how people treated me too. Like people, I tell y'all all the time, the worst people in this world that are treated horribly are fat people. And I always tell girls, don't be fat and black. Don't be fat a woman in black. Oh my God. And then don't be fat a woman and be black and be dark skinned. I tell y'all that all the time because it's horrific how people treat you as a bigger person in this world. It's disgusting, to be honest. So I just haven't forgot about that. So I love myself enough to show up for myself consistently when it comes to my discipline because of that. And I will never forget how people treated me when I was bigger. It's just something I can't forget about. And it's just it is what it is. The way they treat fat people, like I said, it's disgusting. So I make it a point to see people. I make it a point to talk to people, to make people feel seen, because I know what it's like to feel invisible. I know what it's like to be overlooked. I know what it's like where people treat you like you don't have anything important to say. I know what it's like for people to where you get on the elevator, and as you're getting off, you hear these snickering comments, and you hear the laughing and stuff like that. I know what it's like. I've gone through that, and I have not forgotten. So I love myself enough to know I don't deserve that type of treatment. And unfortunately, we live in a world where when you're bigger, people don't see you as valuable. People feel like you're not worthy of things, and people just have an issue with you for being big too. Like you would think you being big affected them on a personal level. It's crazy. It's crazy. You would think by you being big that you did something to them, because I don't know what it is, but it's like people have an issue with big people. Like they haven't, if you are bigger, they just it's fat phobic, but people don't want to acknowledge that. I'm all for being healthy. I'm all for trying to get your health in order, but some people, they really use being fat phobic as an excuse to push this whole, oh, you need to lose weight. You need to lose weight. But in reality, like they have this hatred. Y'all, I experienced pure hatred as a bigger person, and I will never forget that. So, one thing that I can honestly say though is when you do lose your weight, when you do glow up, when you go through the process of change, don't become the people that bullied you. And sometimes I get stereotyped to be that girl, and it's like I'm not that girl because I was the other girl, and I'll never forget how people treated me. And you guys, family, oh my God. Oh my God. I was 358 pounds. Family treated me horribly. Y'all not ready. Family treats you so bad. Like they feel entitled to you in ways, so they feel like they can make these disgusting comments about your weight. And then they think that they can attack you at every turn when it comes to your weight. Like y'all, no. So yeah, I was 358. And it was hurtful because my whole experience was I had health issues. I went in for a knee injury, came out with a list of problems. Went in for a knee injury, all of a sudden I'm struggling with my weight. I've always been an active kid. I've been an athlete since I was 5 years old. And it wasn't until I trusted doctors where I came out with all of these health issues. And then I was misdiagnosed with PCOS, and I didn't have it. I had issues with my insulin because of the steroid that they gave me at that time. The prednisone that they put me on, it threw my hormones out of whack. It threw my cortisol levels out of whack. And so I started noticing how I was growing hair on my face because of this steroid. I noticed how I was just gaining weight in my midsection. I don't have the type of body type where I gain weight in my stomach. I've always gained weight like more in my thighs. Um, and that's really my legs, my butt, but never in my midsection. When you take steroids or when you take prednisone, you tend to gain weight around your midsection, the lower part of your stomach. And it just really threw off my body chemistry, like it just threw off my whole body. And instead of people coming in and wanting to help, right, they just mocked, made fun, and just bashed me, made slick comments about my weight. So listen, you guys, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. And that's why I'm not here to tell you what to do with your body, because the pressure of your family, the pressure of the world, the pressure of society, the pressure when it comes to being a woman and the beauty standards and things like that, it's a lot. So I'm not here to tell you what to do with your body. I'm just here to have you think about the long-term effects. And the best foundation you can ever have for yourself is to get healthy. That's it. It's to get healthy, to love yourself, work on your self-esteem and your self-confidence, because that is just a great foundation to have. If you want to get a procedure and spruce things up a little bit because over time you've had kids or your body has changed, I don't see anything wrong with that. Because again, the way people treat you in this world as a woman when you're bigger is absolutely disgusting. And I don't wish it on my worst enemy. I don't wish my worst enemy being fat and living in this world. I don't, because it's truly disgusting. And you guys, it was so bad to the point where this is when I realized that the insecurities that I had as a bigger woman, how they were so real, was when I noticed how family feared my safety. But when I was bigger, they never were concerned about my safety. They could care less. Oh, we just want to make sure that you get home safe. And it was such a night and day experience, because I couldn't believe, I was like, wait, no one has ever checked in on me. Like, no one has ever asked me about my safety. Like, let me walk you to your car. Let me help you carry this, or let me help you do this. Imagine, and this is when it started to really sit in for me. Imagine you going through this experience, growing up an athlete, everyone admires you and everyone is just so loving towards you and things like that. And then you rapidly gain weight overnight, and you see and it's drastic because it happens so fast. And then you lose the weight again, and how drastic that is, because you see how different people see you, treat you, and all of a sudden they're concerned about your well-being after you spent years suffering because you were going through some health issues. It's disgusting, y'all. And every day I have to pray to not have some type of hate in my heart, because I still remember what that was like. And it's disgusting. So I'm not here to tell you what to do with your body. All I'm here to do is just remember, because one thing about weight loss, and it's in, or just changing your body in general, right? Even if you were to gain weight, if you don't love yourself, you're never going to be satisfied. You're going to pick on, like, you could go get a BBL and then you're going to pick something else to fixate on, like your arms. Now, if it's not your butt, now it's your arms. Now it's your arms. And now you're going to fixate on that. Like, oh my God, I can't stand my arms. I can't stand my arms. You're always going to find something wrong with you. So I'm always going to tell you, like, lay that foundation, lay it thick too, because I'm telling you, if you try to rely on outside validation from this world, oh my, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be so disappointed. And this is as real as it gets. Okay, because I've been on both sides. I didn't have the I was fat when I was younger story, but I do have the I was fat when I was in college story. And so you still have to deal with like peers, you still have to deal with interacting socially and stuff like that, and how awful that can be. But also, I also have the story of going through that drastic change after losing weight and just seeing how people just treat you so differently. And going from being visible to invisible to visible again. Oh my God, that's a mess. It's a mess, y'all. It is a mess. So I really feel like it's just something that you're always gonna have to work on. Even if you decide to get the sleeve, y'all know I'm supportive of the sleeve because it does help you. It's just a tool, but it's not permanent. Um, and then to the moms out here, you thinking about getting a mommy makeover, I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, you put your life on the line, you sacrifice your body, and we all know how men can get after having children, whether they want to acknowledge that or not. We see the slick comments. We see how they really feel, but they're afraid to comment. And I'm not saying that you should really base getting procedures done off of that, but it still has an effect on your relationship. It still has effect on your womanhood after having children. And sometimes it's not men, sometimes it's just us not being comfortable with how our body looks after children. So I'm always going to tell you to do what's truly best for you. But when it comes to the BBL, I'm just no, ma'am. I'm sorry. I have been against it since the beginning of time. Especially when you have the fat gene. It's different when you don't have the fat gene. Is way different. So do what you feel comfortable with. Do what's safe. Please don't go the cheap route. If you're gonna get plastic surgery, don't be cheap. Okay, this is your body. Invest in it. If you got to drop $20,000, well, I guess that's what you need to do because this is your body. Okay, we talk about luxury all day, every day. Okay, you want to get the mommy makeover? Drop that 20K. Drop it. It's your body. If you're going to spend $20,000 on something, spending it on your body to make sure to ensure your safety, I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't. Don't be cheap about it, though. Don't be cheap about it. So that's all that I have regarding this video, you guys. But yeah, I'm probably going to do more videos like this. This was just a test so that I can get more content out. And yeah, so I'm going to log out, you guys. You guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I will see you in your next one. Oh, I meant to mention this. Remember, when you get plastic surgery, level up your life. Okay? Level it up. Okay? So that means you gotta put real investments behind it. So if you gotta drop $20,000, it's your body. It's an investment. You're doing it to level up. Okay? So do that for yourself. That is the best advice that I can give, but don't go cheap. Don't go cheap. This is your health. Don't go cheap. That's all that I have. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's day, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.